Welcome to Conversations with Verdel Jones. I'm your host, Verdel Jones, and being an educator at heart, I'm dedicated to sharing conversations that inform and enlighten in the hopes that you learn something you may not have known. So we are back. We were off for the month of March. Basically, we were showing reruns. So I'm happy to be live, giving you a new show with some great information. A lot has been going on, as we all know, in this crazy world. So we're still, broadcasting from Strong Island, but we're not in studio. We are actually in my living room. This season, so make sure you like and share the show. I think we're streaming on YouTube and we're also streaming on Facebook. So, like and share it so people can get this information that we're going to be talking about today. And as always, thank you for watching. We're in season 5. And we're just starting our spring season. And spring season is going to be about reflecting, just reflecting on, especially in this season and what's been going on. So we are going to be here every second and fourth Thursday at 6:30 right here. You can check us out. We are also on the Strong Island Entertainment Roku channel. So if you have Roku, you can check Conversations with Verdel Jones out there on the Strong Island Entertainment channel, and you can see all of the other great shows that are on Strong Island as well. I have these earbuds, and I don't know if they're working well, but we're going to work it out. We're also looking for partner sponsors. We have quality content that we show here on Conversations with Verdel Jones, and we're always looking for people to support our show. And some other exciting news, we are on the Rewind Network, and that's on Comcast. So it's on television in Delaware, Washington, D.C., Scranton, Pennsylvania, and Wilkes-Barre section of Pennsylvania as well. So you can check Conversations with Verdel Jones out on the Rewind Network as well. You can also be a part of Conversations with Verdel Jones with your very own Conversations with Verdel Jones mugs. I have some lemon and hot water in here, trying to stay healthy. So you can go to our website and check that out as well. And pick up your Conversations with Verdel Jones mug. So let's get right into the week in review. It's really been more like a month since we've been broadcasting live. But there has been a lot going on, and I just want to take the opportunity to just, prayers are going up for our nation, for strength and comfort and just, health in this with this COVID-19. It's really impacting so many people, in so many different ways. It's from small businesses to people losing loved ones because of this vicious disease. And it's just, we have to isolate ourselves and stay in and not be the natural beings that we are in connecting with other people. So, it really has impacted so many people. And, my heart goes out to all those, who are impacted, which is really all of us are impacted in so many different ways. Like I said, emotionally, then we have our doctors and our nurses and all those who are working in the healthcare area. They're really, saving lives and helping us keep going. You have grocery store, people working in grocery stores and, people in media. And it just really, it's uncertain times, but, we need to kind of coalesce and come together and fight this thing and make sure you stay home, and stay safe. Okay. So, we have a great show, so I really want to get into it. On today's show, we're going to be talking about the new normal. There's a new normal now, with this COVID-19, there is actually a new normal. People are working from home. I'm working from home. We're going to talk a little bit about that. And we are going to talk about media and what's the deal with media and how that's actually changing. And we're going to talk about how businesses can kind of navigate in this new economic landscape, and what you could do to try to sustain yourself in this age. So when we come back, we're going to be talking about working from home, and I have a very special guest with me. So I don't like working from home, by the way. So we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to have our next guest. Okay, welcome back. As you see, I have my next guest, none other than Miya Jones. Miya
Well,
Jones is the is the founder and editor in chief of Shades of Long Island. And those of you, I mean, all of you guys know she's also my daughter. So she's actually upstairs. Thank you, Miya, for coming to the show this evening. It's a pleasure to have you.
of course, thank you for having me as usual.
Yeah, yeah. So, the spring season of Conversations with Verdel Jones, we're focusing on reflecting. And I wanted to ask you, how are you kind of reflecting through, or what are your reflections or your thoughts in reference to this COVID-19 epidemic and pandemic and crisis that we're going through right now?
Well, it sucks, that's for sure.
Hmm.
Um, it was unexpected. I really thought 2020 was going to be hitting us with some better vibes, I should say.
Right.
But
Hmm.
I mean, I'm just trying to stay busy and look at the positives and just
Yeah.
not count the days and count every minute, just so this goes a little faster.
Right. Right. Yeah. It has definitely been a shift and a change,
Yeah.
in our world. Um, so, one of the things that I wanted to talk about today was the new normals, right?
Mhm.
So, and new normals meaning in this COVID-19 pandemic that we're in right now, there's some new normals, and one of the new normals is a lot of people are working from home. So I
Mhm.
kind of wanted to focus on that a little bit because it's a challenge, and basically you have been working home from home since basically you graduated
Right.
TU, and so tell us a little bit about how you like working from home, because you're going to need to help out some people.
Well, I mean, honestly, to work from home, you definitely have to be disciplined and you have to
Hmm.
have a schedule. I mean, at this point, you have no choice. So you just kind of have to discipline yourself. And even I still struggle with that.
Right.
It helps to have a schedule, but then it also helps to stick to that schedule. Like I said, you have to be disciplined, and then you also have to know when to give yourself a break because working from
Mm,
home, you could easily work all day if you wanted to, and that might drive you crazy as well. So just
hmm.
make sure you find those times for breaks, whether it's in the afternoon, like you take a lunch break, or if you want to, because you can take a little power nap, refresh yourself, do
Power
some
nap.
things. Yeah. So yeah, I just had one like not that long ago. But you have to, find ways to find a work play balance. So
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
important. That's really
And
big.
it's a challenge. So I'm in education, and educators do not work from home typically, unless you're teaching people virtually or what have you. But that's what we're doing now. So we were kind of thrust in
Mhm.
this working from home. Like, we work with kids, we work with people, we're always surrounded by individuals at all times, and
Mhm.
working from home for me has been a little bit of a challenge.
Mhm. Yeah, I
And you've
noticed.
been with me, so we've been home together, and
Mhm.
it's been a little bit of a challenge because I
Yeah.
think what you said, it's finding that balance.
Yeah.
So what have you kind of learned about creating that balance for yourself? Like, what are some strategies or techniques that you could share with people to create that balance?
I mean, I don't really know. Like I said, I'm still mastering it myself. I mean, maybe
Hmm.
like set an alarm, just to
Hmm.
make sure that you get up, and then also just try and maybe plan a week ahead just to make sure that you know what you're doing on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, and then Saturdays you
Right.
have that treat Saturdays like a normal Saturday for sure.
Hmm. Right.
But
How do you kind of stop yourself from working
mhm.
all through the night, all through the day? Like, how do you kind of stop yourself from doing that?
Well, when I am disciplined in my schedule, oh, and also another thing is to get out of the
Hmm.
house. That definitely helps too when you can. Well, obviously you
Hmm.
can do that now, but when you work remotely, in normal
Hmm.
circumstances, in this case, instead of going out of the house, maybe going to a different room in your house. So
Right.
like going to your if you're able to have a workspace, an office, go to the office or go to the living room, go to the dining room, go to the kitchen, wherever you can build a space. But once you want to decide, once you say, all right, at 6 o'clock, I'm off the clock, get out of that space and go to your room, go watch TV. Like just say like, all right, I put in the work, I put in these hours, it's time to chill. And then what I
Hmm.
usually do is when I do that, sometimes I still do like, I'll bring my laptop with me to the
Hmm.
next room or bring my phone with me, but I won't be like fully into my work. I'll be
Yeah.
on my phone and watching TV. I'll be in more of a chill mode than when I was in work mode sitting at
In
it.
work mode.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So just
Yeah.
switching a room can switch your mindset.
Yeah. And for me, it's interesting because I'm not used to working from remotely, and
Mhm.
I never have worked remotely ever in my life. And
Mhm.
it's a challenge for me because
Yeah.
being at home, and especially the industry too that I'm in, and being at home, I want to do the laundry, I want to
Yeah.
clean, I want to I want to do things that I would normally do when I'm home. And I have done work at home,
Mhm.
but it's
Different.
because I need to get some work done, so I take it at home. But just solely working remotely has been a challenge. Like all these Zoom meetings and virtual meetings, it's very different.
Definitely. It's
Yeah.
definitely it's a shift. It's a change that
Hmm.
will last for a little while.
Right. Right. And that brings me to the next kind of thing that I wanted to talk about was that we're talking about new normals.
Mhm.
So do you think that remote working will be the new normal for more people than it has been in the past?
Um, I'm not sure because I mean I know we've talked about how there's really no excuse now. You can really
Hmm.
do what jobs you don't have to come to the office for. Like you can see
Right.
it can be done. So it
Hmm.
may and it may not. And I remember we had mentioned before when we were talking about like how more people working remotely like, might save a company costs in terms of running office
Yeah.
spaces or
Hmm.
running building spaces or cleaning up the office space. So it might cut costs there. So maybe more people will be encouraged to work remotely. So I think that it's definitely a possibility that
Hmm.
that could happen for more people after this, even after COVID has passed.
Yeah. Yeah. I was envisioning where there might be a situation where, you know, um, companies decide to have that, less overhead, right?
Right.
And they don't have these big office buildings, and they have like maybe these once a month meetings or quarterly meetings, because you do want people to have,
Right.
to come
Come and
together to,
see each other. Right.
right, because there's something to be said for, coming together and feeling the energy of people in a space and working with one another.
Right. The
But
the lack of that now really shows how important that is.
R- Absolutely, absolutely. So we're gonna. I see us kind of shifting to more remote work, and also more of a monthly meeting, or
Mhm.
and it's so interesting because back in the day there weren't too many people that worked remotely anyway, and it has been a trend over the years, and a lot of companies were so resistant to do it, but
Right.
now
Technology is different.
Right, exactly, exactly. Like a lot of people didn't even know what Zoom was until this, you know,
Right.
until this went
Exactly.
down.
Mhm. Right.
So the other thing, what we were talking about earlier, like I'm not gonna lie, I don't mind not getting dressed every single day. Like I can wear, a top. Like right now, people, the bottom, you don't want to see the bottom.
Big
But how do
contrast, huh?
it's a contrast, exactly. So like that's another thing with I'm saving so much money in not eating, eating out, or things like that, but it's also dress. Like how do you keep yourself in a
Yes.
frame where you just don't let yourself totally go?
I mean, that's another tricky one too, because it's like
Hmm.
at home, you're most comfortable at home. So you're gonna indulge in, the
Right.
sweats and the food in the house and so it's hard. I don't know, what you just have to keep yourself active and maybe just kind of develop a routine where you at least walk around the house or walk on the treadmill or do at least some
Do
kind of
something.
exercise for an hour maybe.
Right. Like I haven't put on, this is the first time I put on makeup, and, like I
Yeah.
had another Zoom thing that I did. It was on, Facebook, but for what,
Yeah.
So it's, I think working from home is an interesting phenomenon, and
Yeah.
that people were kind of pushed into it without even really knowing what to do. So some tips like you gave are helpful for people that are going through this and not really understanding or
Yeah.
knowing what to do. So, but we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about media and the new normal in the media. So we're going to take a quick break. Welcome back to Conversations with Verdel Jones. We are talking to Miya Jones. She is the editor-in-chief and founder of Shades of Long Island. And we were just talking about working from home and that being the new normal. Another thing that I really wanted to kind of get your insight, gain some insight from you, is media. Because you're in that realm, in that area, and you've been covering what's been going on with COVID-19.
Mm-hmm.
And how have you seen media changed and with all of this that's been going on?
Well, media is definitely a big part in this in terms of it being important because people are going to the media to get their information. And it's not like they haven't already been doing that, but it's just now that people want to know. But at the same time, there may be an oversaturation. So I know, like I was telling you guys before, that as a person consuming media and then as a person in the media, it's hard not to oversaturate with information about COVID and coronavirus because it can be a little depressing and there's very few good things happening. Like it's rare that we get like a little glimmer of hope. So it's a little rough.
And, and the other thing with that, like you said, the oversaturation of what's going on, it's every single news channel, it's like the topic,
every story surrounds that.
Every news story surrounds it. And it's sometimes you have to like unplug. So what kind of things have you been focusing on with Shades of Long Island in reference to not only the, COVID-19 and the, the pandemic, but what other things have you found yourself kind of taking a look at to kind of not saturate,
Well, I have been covering COVID, and I actually just put a story up about how Long Islanders are doing amidst COVID, and it has a little bit more. I try to end it on a more like positive note in terms of like how they're getting through it, what strategies to cope, strategies to deal with the outbreak and things like that. So I have been covering it, but I've also been covering other things, other people, like just different things happening. I don't want to focus just on that. Like I put up like a couple relationship articles the other day, just to kind of not make it all about. I mean, I have to talk about it. It's in the news, but I don't want to make it strictly COVID coverage 24/7. Oh,
Yeah.
the case increased to this,
Hmm.
this many deaths are in Suffolk and now. So like, I don't want to constantly be pumping out information like that,
Right.
but I want to
And
keep
you
up to date.
right, and you know what? And there's so many other offshoots of it as well, because
Yeah.
you mentioned like relationships. Like people probably need information about relationships at this
Right.
point.
Right. That's
you
true.
know, like how do you stay with your significant other 24/7? How do you date in this kind of
Right.
COVID-19 world?
Relying
So
on those
yeah, so
apps, I guess.
what's that?
I said relying on those apps, I guess.
Get right. Like, how do so there's a lot of things that can be, offshoots, and there's a lot of positive stories out there as well. And I've been seeing more of those, like
Yeah.
locally, you know?
Yeah. Because I think people are just kind of tired of seeing so much negativity, especially when there's
Yeah,
COVID in it. It's just like, can we get something good? Like,
I know. I
oh,
know. I know. It's a lot. It's a lot. So with all that, with all the, all the information that's out there, how can people really rely on what they hear, see, or read? Like, what is the vetting process for news?
I mean, well, you definitely have to make sure that it's a reputable source.
Hmm.
So, I mean, I would imagine, but at the same time, it is a little difficult because information keeps changing and new like
Yeah.
symptoms, new this, new that keeps coming up in
Hmm.
terms of the, COVID. So it's like it's kind of hard, like because even sometimes reputable sources, they have information one day, but the next day,
Something different.
yeah, doctors can, excuse me, discover something new, and it's like, how do you? So I
How do
mean,
you navigate that? Yeah.
I think it's just a matter of staying up to date, not overwhelming yourself, and
Hmm.
understanding that this is a changing thing, but don't panic. Panicking is
Yeah.
worse.
It's not good. Right. Exactly.
So I think reputable sources like CNN or like the New York Times, they have a lot of
Hmm.
information. Reputable sources that have been known for their work
Right.
are good to
Right.
turn to.
Yeah, yeah, it is, because it's hard to, I think there was, I heard something about, um, like Facebook and, all these social media like outlets taking things down that
Yes.
are,
hmm
yeah. Can you talk
So
a little bit about that? Because I know people have to be aware of those things.
right, I just found out that basically what you can't, if you're not an expert or if you
Hmm.
don't really know what you're talking about, don't give specific like medical advice on certain
Hmm.
things because that post or that video that you do on it could be taken down by Facebook and I believe YouTube as well because
Okay.
they don't want you to spread like there's been a lot of false information spreading, these
Hmm.
past few years throughout social media. So we cannot have that during an outbreak. So
Right.
they're monitoring.
Right. Right. You are not Dr. Fauci.
Right, exactly. If you ain't Dr. Fauci or Cuomo, then
Yeah, and
I
that's the other thing. Like how, like who, if somebody would have told me that I would watch, Governor Cuomo every single day, I'd be like, why? And
mhm.
and that's really what it is. It's like, and I think you made a point about not oversaturating, not looking at those things too much, and maybe go to a couple of news sources or
Yeah,
whatever, and then and then shut it off.
yeah, definitely. You
You
don't want to be
know,
surrounded by it all day.
right? Exactly. Yeah, yeah. It's a challenge. It really is a challenge. So I mentioned that you are the editor in chief and founder of Shades of Long Island.
Yes.
We're going to be talking to a marketing expert in a few minutes, really just to, kind of navigate, this new economic space. But you also have a directory as part of your Shades of Long Island media outlet. So talk a little bit about that directory
So,
and really how it could help. And it'll be a nice segue to the next
so
topic.
basically, the directory is the largest minority-owned directory for Long Island businesses in Nassau and Suffolk County. It was actually, it's an offshoot. It's another website from Shades of Long Island. You could find it on the main page. It says Business Directory. And it was actually designed by Blue Surge Marketing, which is your next guest. So he built it out, and we sat down and went through the different options and different categories. So it can definitely serve as a help to businesses that are delivering and shipping goods, because you can put your business on there. There's a free option, and then there's also a pricing plan as well, where people of color who own businesses, they can put their information up there, and then people can find them and they can see whether or not people deliver, whether or not you deliver goods, whether you deliver services. It just helps you get out there digitally, which is the only way we really can at this point.
Right. Exactly. So how can people, again, just find your website, if you can just give that information? We also have your information. We can put that up as well. But how can people find out about that?
So the website is shadesoflongisland.com. And on Instagram, it's LI Shades, Twitter, Shades LI. On Facebook, it's Shades of Long Island. And we're also on YouTube, Shades of Long Island. And then the business directory, as I said, if you go to shadesoflongisland.com, it'll be a tab at the top. And the website for the business directory is business.shadesoflongisland.com.
Great. Awesome. Well, thank you, Miya Jones, for joining us and talking about working from home and how media has kind of, what we need to be aware of and the shift in media with our new normal. So we're going to take a quick break, and thank you again, Miya. And when we come back, we're going to welcome our next guest. He is a marketing expert, and we're going to talk about how to kind of navigate this economic landscape that we're in. So we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Thank you.
Looking for a way to promote yourself or business? Do you need a quick and easy way for your clients or audience to see what you're about? Miya Productions is the solution to your promotional needs. A video on a landing page can help increase conversions by 80% or more. And marketers who use video grow revenue 49% faster than non-video users. With our personal attention to detail, we will create a video that will help you promote yourself or business professionally and attract the attention of potential customers. 64% of consumers make a purchase after watching branded social videos, and an initial email with the video receives an increased click-through rate by 96%. We create videos for business owners, authors, speakers, and more. From storyboarding and voiceovers to editing, Miya Productions will work with you to create a promotional video that will increase your visibility and generate revenue. Family is our foundation, and with Miya Productions, our family is there for you. For a free consultation, contact us at miyamarproductions@gmail.com or call us at 516-289-4947.
Hello, my name is Miya Jones, and I am the editor-in-chief and founder of Shades of Long Island. Shades of Long Island is a website and a media outlet that highlights stories related to minorities, millennials, and Generation Z on Long Island. Check out the site because you're going to get great content, diverse content, local content, Long Island content.
Welcome back to Conversations with Verdel Jones. As you see, we have our next guest here, Godson Michel. He is the founder of Blue Surge Marketing Agency. Thank you so much for being a guest again on Conversations with Verdel Jones. It's great to have you.
Thanks so much for having me again. It's always glad to be back. Always a great host. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So, for the spring season of Conversations with Verdel Jones, we're in our 5th season. And the spring, we're talking about kind of reflecting. And reflecting, especially now in this particular season of COVID-19. And I want to ask you, how has this period in time, what have you been kind of reflecting on?
Oh man, reflection. I mean, well, first of all, I just want to say, thank you for everyone who's tuning in and for all of the heroes and people helping out with regards to the pandemic. Definitely during this time, I've been doing a lot of reflecting, of course, with everything going on, especially with New York being and Long Island essentially being the epicenter of the virus. It's given us all time to reflect. Me, myself personally, I'm just, making sure I'm reaching out to friends, colleagues, and just really being grateful. I think this is a really important time to just be grateful and thankful for everything that we have right now, for sure.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. It's just, it's a once in a lifetime changing event that will really leave, a mark on all of us. So,
absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. So one of the things that is part of the new normal is the economy. The economy that we're living in. It's just, it has changed obviously drastically, and businesses are kind of suffering. And I wanted to have you come to talk about, with Blue Surge Marketing Agency, you help businesses grow, right?
Right.
And how in this season are you able to, to help individuals, with their business at this time?
Right. That's a great question, Verdel. It's like you said, it's really just a crazy time right now with everything that's going on. So one of the things that we always focus on in regards to Blue Surge, or helping companies grow their businesses, and is really try to focus on conversions and getting sales. And of course, with everything going on, I think unemployment hit 10% today. We're really seeing a lot of local businesses on the main streets impacted. So, I've been working with my clients directly just to help them kind of navigate these unprecedented waters, and helping them focus really on brand awareness right now. That's really one of the key things we're really pushing right now, just to kind of keep people's businesses top of mind, because with everything going on, a lot of our attention is distracted. So one of the important things that, even though we can't necessarily go outside and people aren't visiting businesses in person, especially if you're deemed a non-essential business, one thing we can do is make sure that the companies that are putting out content, putting out information, communicating with their customers, and really just making sure that they're staying top of mind right now. That's definitely one of the key focus areas we want to work on right now with our clients and individuals on Long Island.
Right. So as part of that, what's the importance of having a digital presence? We've had conversations about, especially websites, and we're going to talk a little bit about what you guys do, but what is the importance of that digital presence for companies, especially now?
Oh, I mean, it's something that I always used to push before, and now, I'm getting so many emails. Oh my gosh, my store's been shut down. How do I maintain my traffic flow? How do I maintain my revenue?
Right.
Things like that. So definitely in regards to building a digital presence, one of the things we always focus on is just making sure that, you're transparent, you're open, you're honest, and that you're really covering your ground. Essentially, everyone has their attention been shifted from going to visiting stores. So, people aren't going to mom and pop stores right now. That the malls are closed, the boutiques are closed. So how do you get attention right now? It's different when you're walking into the mall and, you go there for one thing, and then somebody stops by your boutique or your clothing store. How do you gain leverage? How do you get that attention right now? So one of the things we're focused on with our clients, like I said, is building brand awareness, making sure that their websites are up to date, are moving quickly, making sure that they're sending emails more frequently, just keeping an open line of communication, just making sure that the customers know that even though that everything's going on right now, they're still here. The businesses are still here to provide the services that people need and things like that.
What are some key things businesses can do with that? Because, a lot of people do have some type of digital presence, but what are some key things that they could do to make sure that they're on the top of the mind of people?
That's a great question. One of the things that I've been working, especially with clients right now, is helping them build out content, especially educational content. I'm sure, you've noticed a lot right now with even people on Instagram. They're tuning into these DJ sessions on Instagram Live and things like that. And, D Nice, was on there too.
D Nice, yeah.
I was there with, I was in the same room with Beyonce and Bernie Sanders, so that felt pretty cool. But doing things like that. So, as you can see, even in the entertainment space, that a lot of individuals and entrepreneurs have been able to leverage that. So when I'm talking specific strategies with local businesses, you may not be able to be D Nice and drop a cool mixtape, but what you can do, if you're one of my clients, they do baking and things like that. So although they're not a business that's been directly impacted by the virus, they usually bake custom cakes for parties. Okay, people aren't having big parties, so they may not be ordering cakes. What can you do to keep people top of mind? One of the things I suggested to her was she should create a YouTube channel and create an educational series of teaching people how to bake cakes. Right. To do some of the things that she does and things like that. So it's really just about right now. It's about being creative. The people that are creative right now that are able to make content, that are able to make an educational short stories, host webinars, short clips, videos, anything just to kind of stay in that social feed, because that's where everybody is right now. If you're not, everyone's either watching a YouTube video right now, watching Tiger King on Netflix.
You watched it?
I did watch it. Someone fed their husband, to the tigers, but that's okay.
She did.
The main thing what we really I'm working with clients, just making sure that they're just doing specific things to just make sure people are paying attention to you. Make sure people, send an email to your customers. A lot of us we focus so much on, building traffic to our website. Are you collecting their emails? Are you establishing some sort of form of communication? Are you sending out a newsletter, letting them know? I'm sure you've received dozens of emails from companies you ordered from in 2014 at one time.
Companies, it's like, what are you sending me an email for about COVID-19?
Right. That one company you ordered, a pair of socks from in 2014 and sends you an email. But you know what? They're top of mind right now. You remember them. And this is a great time to launch a sale, to spring a sale on someone. So it's actually really smart and creative.
And you know what? The thing is, too, I also, I got a lot of gift cards for Christmas that I just haven't had time to, go to the store or what have you. And I've been able to use my gift cards and shopping online.
Right.
Because I have them, I have the time, and and I'm able to do that at this point. So, even that you brought up about the gift cards is one of the things I'm working with local businesses on Main Street. So, even though you may not be able to get revenue from people coming to your store physically, I'm helping them actually set up quick online stores on Shopify. And Shopify is an easy online platform. It's an e-commerce platform where you can essentially set up an online version of your store and sell gift cards like that, which will help increase your cash flow so that you're still able to pay your employees during this time. Right, because if they get a gift card, they can shop online with that. That makes a lot of sense, definitely. Now, I love the example that you gave about somebody who bakes cakes for occasions, and you suggested that they, do a YouTube channel. How can businesses kind of think in that way? Like you just, you came up with that quickly, but how can businesses kind of say to themselves, hey, what can I do? And what should they kind of focus on to kind of rein that in and think more creatively?
I mean, I think there's, we can get inspiration from anywhere. So one of the things that I do personally is a lot of times, I'll speak to my core consumer. So one of the best ways to understand what your customer wants is simply to ask them. This is a great time to maybe implement a poll or a survey on your social feeds. Hey, now that our business is closed, but what would you guys like to hear from us? What would you guys like to receive from us? That's a great way, instead of just guesstimating and hoping and hypothesizing. It's a great way just to get a little bit more consumer insight to understand what your customers are looking for. Because, it's a scary time right now. Everyone's scared. Everyone's worried. But this is a time where the smart creative companies are able to kind of step up and be open and be transparent and provide a little bit of relief to people right now who are, indoors quarantining and social distancing.
Right. And what do you see as the new normal in reference to, things that you were just talking about? Is this something that companies are going to have to drastically shift? at this point just to remain relevant?
Yeah, I mean, I think if you want to stay relevant right now, like I said, because of the impact where lots of businesses are just physically closed, there's no way to actually visit those stores. So if you haven't already, it's 2020, if you haven't already created the Facebook group, the Facebook page or the Instagram page, this is a good time to get started.
Right.
It's either that or, you going by the wayside. And, we saw what happened in the 2008 financial crisis. And this is a little bit different. We saw lots of companies, unfortunately, fall from that crisis. And we also saw a lot of companies rise from that crisis and be born. Right. So this is just a time to be innovative, to be creative. It's really go time right now. And right now we're in the beginning of April, and we don't know how long this is going to last. This might run until some models are projecting the end of April. Some are projecting till May.
So you don't know.
It's really just time to get started and just try to be creative and put something out there. You never know what people will like until you try.
Right. What industries are hot? What are they? So I was listening to, Karen Hunter. I haven't listened to her in so long because I usually listen to her in my car. And she had an acquaintance of ours that I met through her show, actually, this gentleman named Torrin Ellis. And he's in the diversity recruitment space. And he was talking about the industries and how people need to, creatively, just like you said, what are some industries that are going to be hot industries for people to kind of take a look at?
Oh, the first one I'm thinking of right now is something that we're using, telecommunications.
Yeah.
Everyone, I think within the past month, people are now discovering what Zoom is. They're now discovering, Skype, Slack, Microsoft Teams, all these different tools. And especially with all of us working from home right now, me, working from my, virtual kitchen in the background.
Beautiful kitchen.
Thank you. It's stainless steel. So that's one industry that's definitely going to be doing well, and there's going to be a lot of energy and shifted focus to that. And even on the non-tech and digital side, cleaning services. I have a colleague of mine who has a cleaning company, and of course, they're booming right now just because of the needs for people to disinfect and things like that.
Yeah.
One of the other spaces is education, specifically in regards to tutoring, just because, we have now, this is a very unique time in American history where both parents are essentially working from home. But now you have Junior, or you have your daughter at home with you as well, in 7th grade doing earth science or whatever classes they're taking. Where do you get the help from? Yeah. This is right now where a lot of online tutoring services are really starting to build up and have a lot of leverage in the space.
Right. Yeah. We, as a matter of fact, I'm in education, and we work with this company called iTutor, and it's all virtual. And that company right now, they were increasingly doing, better and better and better. They started off small and they really gained a lot of traction. But at this point, Exactly.
So some will do well, some won't. Each industry is different, but one of the things I'm stressing and pushing to my clients, and even other prospective clients, is this is just the time to be creative and the time to go. If you slack during this time, or if you're not using, whether you're a business person or not, or creative, if you're not using this time to learn a new skill or add a new addition to your business, or just pivot. You might not see your business be so successful when we come out of this. So definitely just try to be proactive.
So tell us what services you provide at Blue Surge Marketing Agency.
Right. Yeah. So we're a web design and digital marketing firm. So we do everything from website development, so helping our clients build fast, responsive websites that look great on desktops and mobile phones. We also do a lot of pay-per-click advertising. So that's Google ads, Facebook ads. When you're watching the video on YouTube and that annoying 5-second video comes up that you have to skip, that's also us as well. We do a lot of email marketing. So those annoying emails with the companies sending you information about socks and COVID-19.
Bombas. Why is Bombas talking to me about, COVID-19?
Trying to stay top of mind. And just social media in general. So everything we just do is focused on lead generation and conversion. So whatever is a bottom line to your business, whether you're trying to get more emails, sales, event signups, app downloads, we handle all of it in-house.
And how have you been able to take advantage of this new normal?
How have I been able to take advantage? I mean, I think it hasn't been a super big shift for us, just because all the work we do is generally remote anyways.
Right.
I just feel, a little bad, I guess, for the businesses that haven't been able to find a way to kind of adapt and pivot yet. And for some of them, it's different. I mean, it's difficult, especially how abrupt it hit. So, I'm just looking forward to try to help out, any small time business owners, entrepreneurs that need a little bit of guidance to sort of navigate these, unprecedented waters, and helping them figure out what's the best strategy for them.
Awesome. So how can people get in contact with you? We do have your contact information. We'll put that up there, but how can they get in contact with you?
Yeah, so the best way to reach out to us, you can either send us a direct message through Instagram. Our handle is The Blue Surge. You can also send us an email, hello@thebluesurge.com. And one of our staff members will definitely reach out and be able to reach out to you within 24 hours and help you kind of navigate and understand anything that we have to do, anything that you need to do to sort of help your business during COVID-19.
Awesome. Well, it is always a pleasure to speak with you. I love your ideas, your insight. It's awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being a guest again on Conversations with Verdel Jones.
No problem. I appreciate it so much. And please have your family be safe during this time.
Yes, you too.
Everyone, please wash your hands.
That's right.
And thank you so much again for having me on today.
Okay, we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, I'll give you my final thoughts. Thanks again.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much for watching Conversations with Verdel Jones. I just want to wrap up and give some final thoughts. We had a really great show today talking about the new normal in this season that we're in. We're reflecting. Really, I think this, if anything, this situation of COVID-19 and this pandemic has really has given people the opportunity to reflect on a lot of different things. Some of the things that we talked about today had to do with, new normals and working from home or working remotely, media and how media is impacted, and how businesses can make that shift to try to navigate the new economic landscape that we're in. So I would like to thank our guests today. We had Miya Jones. She is the founder and editor-in-chief of Shades of Long Island. So we also had the pleasure of having Godson Michel here from Blue Surge Marketing Agency. Always just great information in reference to how businesses can shift. So I want to thank our guests so much for being on Conversations with Verdel Jones. I want to also just again, to give a shout out to all those heroes out there that are helping us live and sustain. And, really my hat is off to you. All the essential workers that are here just keeping our world going. And I really want to say thank you so much, and just prayers out to everyone who is really impacted by this. And and I want to thank everybody for watching Conversations with Verdel Jones. And we will definitely be here in a couple more weeks. And this was the first, Zoom, show, and it went great. So I want to thank you again. Thanks, Bobby. So I want to thank everybody for watching Conversations with Verdel Jones, and have a great one.